Monroe for shock absorbers.
Some of the world's greatest drivers will test these streets in the Detroit Grand Prix. Among the men in their flying machines, you'll see Emerson Fittipaldi, winner of last month's Indy 500. Mario Andretti, a former world driving champion. Hollywood Danny Sullivan, the champion, still on the mend from a broken arm. And then there's Al Unser Jr., who came in second at Indy, the fastest of the new generation of racing Unsers. For all the drivers, it's been a week of festivities, a chance to crush some flesh before hurling their way through the unforgiving city streets at 175 miles an hour. Indeed, the auto industry has come a long way from those early days. Today, it has 155 miles to go for $1 million. Hello, everyone. I'm Chris Economaki, excited about the arrival of Indianapolis cars here in Detroit. Right now, there's 28 of them lined up here, ready to go. And in 7 of them, drivers under 30 years of age, including the 2 front row starters, pole man Michael Andretti and his row mate Al Unser Jr. So you can see that the accent on speed here today is one of youth. Michael Andretti, how are you going to handle that man Unser alongside when the green flag drops?
Well, we'll have to play it by ear, really. You know, our goal is going to be to beat him into the first turn. That's what we're going to try to do.
Okay. Last night at dinner, Al Unser said he was going to be very patient during the course of this race. Al, how patient?
I don't know, Chris. We'll just have to see how the race unfolds, and we'll determine how patient.
Well, good luck, Al. Okay, and now let's go down the road to my colleague, Mike Joy.
Thank you, Chris. Yes, youth has the front row, but here, right behind in row number 2, the emphasis is on experience. Emerson Fittipaldi, twice world champion, an Indianapolis winner. Your experience in the years you've spent in these and other open-wheel cars, how much a factor will that be when you head off into turn 1 and get ready to rumble here?
Well, you know, turn 1 will be equal to everybody. Have to be careful, be a tough turn 1, turn 2 today. And it's a long race, and I hope I can be there at the end of the race. I'm looking for my Marlboro car is beautiful, balanced, beautiful, full tanks. And all the Marlboro teams well prepared.
All right, best of luck to you today.
Thank you very much.
And right alongside another world champion, an Indy winner and champion, already strapped into his Newman Haas racing machine, final belts being applied to Mario Andretti out of Nazareth, Pennsylvania, getting set to go with his son in the front row. Mario, the boys up front have talked about youth, but what about experience and the ability and the knowledge gained over long years to manage the car and keep a good car under you for the duration of this race?
Well, I guess time will tell. So far, they've shown us a little bit, and we'll see what happens in the race itself. As you said, I think it's going to be fairly tough on equipment, but still, you're going to have to go very hard to stay competitive. So it's a fine line here between...
Talking to his crew right now and getting set to be bolted in, encapsulated in his machine. Well, youth on the front row, and any young, fast driver can put together a good lap here at Detroit or on any of these challenging street circuits. But experience, and men like these may well likely prevail at the end of this Detroit Grand Prix to keep this machine in peace and ready to go.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
"28 cars coming to life, 13 foreign drivers, 15 United States campaigners getting ready for this go. There are still some naysayers about this track, but one thing that they all agree upon is that turn 1 will be critical today. The end of the longest, fastest straightaway. And to give us more about that story, turn 1, let's go to our colleague today. Honored to have with us 3-time Indianapolis 500-mile champion, Johnny Rutherford.
Thank you, Ken. And as you can see by the tire marks, this is a very serious turn. It's located at the end of the longest, fastest straightaway on the course, making it a prime place to pass. The cars are attaining speeds of about 170 miles an hour there. So that explains some of these tire marks. Emerson Fittipaldi told me this is the most gentle turn on the entire race course. Well, if that's the case, then we ought to see the rest of them, I guess. Ken?
So let's take a look right now at the rest of this 2.5-mile course. David Hobbs gives us this description.
Let's go for a lap with Al Unser Jr. as he approaches turn 1 at about 170 miles an hour. Brakes, changes down to third for turns 1 and 2. On the approach to that corner is a potential passing place. Onto the back straight behind the grandstand here is another passing place in the race. I'm sure we'll see some outbraking into here, turn 3. Up this bumpy hill, I don't expect to see much braking because this turn at the top is very sharp. Here again is not a very good passing place. The road meanders left, left, and then left again, so it's very easy for the lead driver to block out any passing attempts. Down to seconds, he comes out into the park at the highest point of the track. Under the trees, a nice place for Sunday afternoon stroll, but not today. Hard on the brakes again. There might be some passing going into this complex. He stays in second all the way through this. Left, right, you can see his little old head wobbling about there. This car and this road is very, very bumpy. Under the car park there on Larned Street is particularly bumpy, and he'll get up to about 145 miles an hour as he brakes and changes down to first gear for this left right-hand complex. Not quite so rough as he gets back onto Jefferson here, up to fourth gear again, and again about 145 miles an hour. Now there will be some passing into this corner, I'm sure, just in front of Cobo Hall, but there won't be any passing down this little bit here. Snicks it up to second as he goes through this right-hander into the dark under the pedestrian walkway. Some passing may be here, but difficult. Down to first, the tightest corner on the track, as he accelerates under the Atwater Tunnel, back into fourth gear again, and about 145 miles an hour. Bursts out into the sunshine, brakes hard for here. There would be some passing here, but on the right, where the guy is going to go by, it's very, very bumpy offline. Down into second, now he's back on Riverside Drive. Up to fifth gear, checks the gauges, and his pit signals on the left there as Al completes another lap at round about 87, 88 miles an hour.
Down by Cobo Hall. Coming to green this time by, they say. There you see the number 6 of young Michael Andretti and young Unser right up there in the front row. Fittipaldi and Andretti in row 2 as we get set for a start. Youth persevering on Father's Day here in Detroit as we get ready for a go.
Well, Dad's not far behind.
No, not too far at all.
And Emerson, of course, is no spring chicken.
No, and I remember one time in Portland race out there on Father's Day when Michael Andretti was leading the race and had a bit of a problem right at the end, and Mario just barely nipped him. So that was, I guess, Michael's Father's Day present to Mario.
0.007, isn't it?
Very, very close.
Yes. Closest kart race.
Very close.
Of course, Mario is absolutely amazing, I think. I mean, the guy's 49. He'll be 50 next February. And to be driving in this type of racing like he does, as competitive as he does, is absolutely astounding.
Getting set for a start. Green flag being dropped, and we are away.
So no caution for the first lap.
And it was one. They ran one off under caution and then turned it loose.
Oh, and a spin at one.
Into turn number 1. That looks like one of the Andretti's. Yes, I think that's... Is that Michael or Mario?
Mario.
Mario must have been touched back there and spun into 6th position. One more full course yellow. It would do it. He would make a day of it. Here you can see perhaps the interval. There's Mears, and perhaps we'll see just how long it takes for Mario Andretti to enter the picture here and give us an idea of what that interval is between car number 4 that is running at the present time in 6th position.
6 seconds behind about, and Theo Fab is just pulling the pits too in the Porsche March. I noticed looking out the window, which I'm not supposed to do, but I am.
Watch the monitor. There is Mears in car number 4, still line 6. Mario Andretti to 7th, and Didier Tays has come to 8th position. At Lola Judd is having an outstanding run. Derek Daly, meanwhile, is sorting himself through some traffic. There's Johnny Jones, and diving underneath him goes John Paul. Here we are coming onto the long straightaway to bring us to the start-finish line. I think we have an ill-handling car, number 10 for Derek Daly. Sullivan pitting, 3rd place car, number 1, Danny Sullivan on pit road. Here's Chris.
Well, the story here in the Sullivan pit, and here is Danny Sullivan rolling to a stop right now in front of us. I don't know whether it's a car or a driver problem, but they're talking to him. They're not working on the car, and I guess it's Danny has had his day here. They're taking him out. We'll get a word with him when he steps out of the car. tough break. He was up to third place and doing a magnificent job out there. And you can see the attention that the crew is giving Danny Sullivan, getting him out of the car. You've seen how he has to get out with just one hand helping him. His right hand is useless here towards the extrication process. As we said earlier, the doctor was at second thoughts about letting him go, and perhaps maybe the doctor was right. All right.
Here's car number 65, Johnny Jones, just in front of Michael Andretti. Michael Andretti, the leader in lap traffic. Right behind him is Weaver. Full course yellow is coming out. Third time today we'll see them, and this will do exactly what you were talking about. Emerson Fittipaldi to his advantage here, and to Mario Andretti's. Emerson changed the right front tire after an incident in lap number 1, fell from 20th, then came back to 7th. And remember that here's number 69, Jourdain, in the pits, tad early for this full course caution. A real advantage for Mario Andretti, who has charged all the way back to 5th and was lying several seconds behind Bobby Rahal in 4th. And for Fittipaldi, who's made a marvelous charge from 20th back to 7th with 19 laps complete, 43 remaining.
Jourdain killed his engine trying to leave the pits there, as we saw. Mike Devon is crew chief on that car now. It was my old crew chief years ago.
There we see Emerson going under the yellow flag, and of course, I suppose you could.
Here's Chris.
Well, Michael Andretti's in the pits, and the car's up on jacks. All 4 wheels are being changed. He's goosing the engine. He's throwing his drink back. This is going to be a quick one. There, the car goes back down, and he goes out in 13 seconds, right on the mark for the leader, Michael Andretti. This kind of work will win him this race today. Back to you, Ken.
2 stops had been planned. 2 stops in this 155-mile event.
And right on lap 20 out of a 62-lap race seems like a pretty good spot to have an incredibly convenient caution flag to me.
I would think so. It's
Tom Sneeb is not very happy about
it. No, it's not very convenient for him.
He can't make it.
There's Mario Andretti in the pits. Boy, is he on the charge.
He's gone. Look at that.
Unser Jr. now takes over. Here's Mears. Had been running in the 6th position, falling back behind Andretti. Rick Mears back on course. Unser Jr. is your leader. Scott Pruitt now coming to 2nd. Rahal to 3rd as we come into this period for pit stops, and coming with a full course caution now being shown. Pace car is on the track, and it's Al Unser Sr.
There we can see Tom Sneeb, I think's car being extricated from the tire barrier and probably being moved away to a safer place, wouldn't you say?
Out now, TV Guide, featuring Brookside's Billy Corkill, Bad Boy Made Good. Superstar Michael J. Fox talks about life, love, and success. The legend lives on. James Dean captured in a photo special. From Hollywood heartthrobs to roving reporters, TV Guide investigates the real-life dangers faced by foreign correspondents. Plus, the only comprehensive weekly guide to satellite TV, highlighting the best on the box. TV Guide, out now.
they come out of the tunnel here. They got one more little right and left, and they'll be on the front straightaway, and they're going to get the green this time by.
Quickly to Mike Joy.
Well, Derek Daly is out of this race. He's been giving us some great pictures during the afternoon. What happened to end your drive?
Electrical misfire, which is something that has plagued us over the last 4 races, and the car just stopped up at turn 4.
What happened with you and Guerrero on the incident when he dropped out of the race?
I could see what he was going to try and do, and on a corner like that, I was in the middle of the road protecting my position, which is exactly how you drive in a street circuit.
Trouble down here. That is Barbaza having trouble in turn 1, trying to get back underway, spinning in this very skittish turn 1 area.
Stalled. It appears he stalled.
Apparently he touched with Paul Jr., and that's the outcome of it. He lies there in the track and can't get refired. Back to Mike Joy.
Derek, this racetrack gets very narrow at times.
It really does, but I mean, we all know that. I mean, this track is governed by a different set of rules than a super speedway or something. There isn't the same room, and you've got to be aware of that. Turn 2 or 3 was the very corner we spoke about at the drivers' meeting, about being so slow when you're trying to race a car there. So, you know, I'm surprised he made such a stupid mistake.
Well, is it a case of just emotions building up to start of the event, and everybody wants to get a good jump? Things like that happen so early.
Well, you know, they should be able to control emotions in a situation like that, but, you know, it'll happen again.
Sorry to see you out of it.
Thanks.
Derek Daly.
Let's take a couple of looks here at what happened to Barbaza down in turn 1. John Paul on the inside. Yellow and blue car.
He lost a right front wing as well. You can see it sailing off of the car there. He just missed Fabrizio, and Fabrizio just missed the tires, so it came out other than John Paul losing his right front. Here we see a little closer angle. There we have Didier Thays, and there you can see Barbaza being punted around and the right front wing sailing out of the view. And of course John Paul missing him on the inside. Barbaza sliding backwards. I think he still had his engine running here, but he sidestepped the clutch to go, and it coughed and died, and then he had to be pushed away. Unser is closing on Andretti. That's Al Unser Jr. closing on Michael Andretti. And here you see that battle for first position with 26 laps complete.
Of course, that's one of the things about this type of racing as opposed to Formula One. One of the real beauties is that with the pit stops and, of course, the caution periods, you can all... No, Al's a miss. Al's out. Something has just happened to his car, and he raised his hand to let whoever was behind him know that he was in trouble. He's had a light that came on. I think his engine must have expired, because he had the yellow light, the oil pressure light there on by his right hand. Suddenly came on, and he put his hand up, and he knew he was finished immediately.
So the Rick Gallis team out of it here, second in Indy this year, and that dramatic finish with Fittipaldi. Let's go to Chris Economaki.
I'm here with a disappointed Rick Gallis. I just saw your look on your face change, Rick. You got the word from Al. What's the story?
Yeah, I think we lost something probably in the suspension. Maybe a half shaft broke or something.
This is a tough track, isn't it?
Sure is. Yeah, we lost something yesterday. We knew it was going to be tough, so looks like it's probably just be an endurance race out there.
Oh, it's a tough break. Rick Gallis, Al Unser Jr.'s car owner, stepping away from the wall now. His day is done. Back to you, Ken.
Up in front, this is the story. Michael Andretti at Lola Chevrolet staying first on the field.
There you can see Mario closing in there.
There's John Paul's number 96 with a wing gone on one side, bent, and here's the fourth place battle. Rick Mears is right there. Emerson Fittipaldi with him. Is that Emerson?
Emerson Fittipaldi has just overtaken Rick Mears.
That's fourth. Emerson Fittipaldi into fourth. Rick Mears falling to fifth.
Yeah, that's going to be a good race. Now, the thing is, can Emerson Fittipaldi make up some ground on that front trio, which of course comprises Andretti, father and son, and Scott Pruitt. Scott now the meat in a horrendous sandwich. Talk about jam sandwich this morning. No, it really is the meat in the sandwich.
Yes.
Wouldn't want to be between those two.
Let's take... there is Lyondike car. Ari Lyondike collects the wall.
It appears that he had the wheels locked up when he made contact. There's some telltale.
Lyondike running in 6th. And here's John Paul's car falling by the wayside now.
Oh dear, because the wing that he knocked off was his right wing, the one on our left of our picture. And of course, it's allowed the whole wing structure to move away from the car.
Yes, that's
somewhat wider. Lyondike's car doesn't look too bad.
I think he might have just gotten into the corner a little hot, it appears, and locked up the wheels and slid to a stop right up against the tires, and they backed him up and pushed him away.
Yeah. Unser Jr. out of the race after a good stout run here at lap 27, retiring from the 8th annual Valvoline Detroit Grand Prix. The Andrettis are the story of this race. Mario Andretti has just moved around Scott Pruitt, and he's taken 2nd position. So the Andrettis are 1 and 2, father and son, or son and father, 1 and 2 at this place. And here you see Mario Andretti just in front of the number 3 of Scott Pruitt.
And right into the top of the picture then, just behind Scott Pruitt, came your actual Emo. So the old guys at the moment not putting on too bad a show. We've got another 30 laps to go yet.
Coming to the halfway point this time by Michael Andretti first, Mario Andretti 2nd, Scott Pruitt 3rd, Fittipaldi next, and then Rick Mears rounding out the top 5 here at the Valvoline Detroit Grand Prix. The interval, the speed in the last lap was an 83.9 mile-an-hour average on this 2.5-mile track. There's 3rd spot, and then you saw the red and white car of Fittipaldi. Emerson now being shown in the 4th position.
There's Mario, 2nd spot. Not making much ground up on his son. There's Scott Pruitt.
There you see Mario Andretti, 2nd. There, now here's Fittipaldi back here.
Emerson is really closed up.
Yeah, he's closing up, and he's actually closing up, I think, on Mario, because Mario got around Scott Pruitt relatively quickly, but did not put much daylight between himself and Scott. And meanwhile, Emerson's caught them both up. And young Michael Andretti, in the meantime, has in fact pulled away a bit, I think.
Contest is for 3rd spot right here. Let's go to Mike Joy with Bobby Rahal.
Well, Bobby's got a nice seat here in the pit wall, but for a while, Bobby, you had one of the best seats in the house up there. What happened to put you out?
Oh, I just touched the wall just ever so slightly, and unfortunately, I don't know why, but I mean, because it should be a little stronger, but it bent the upright and broke the upright, I guess, and disappointing. You know, I mean, it's I think we have to beef them up a little bit.
What is the course doing to these cars? Is there a lot of banging around out there?
Well, it's very tough. It's, not much time to relax, and our car was running real well. The Craco car, I mean, we ran 44s, I think, in the race, and I mean, I barely qualified at that, so it's just unfortunate. It's too bad.
Sorry to have you out of it. Bobby Rahal.
Well, what happened, Bobby? Well, nothing really. No, nothing. It just broke. Oh, did anything else happen? Well, I don't know. I might have hit the wall. Well, did he hit the wall? Well, yeah, I kind of ran into it 100 miles an hour.
Halfway of the race, 31 down, 31 to go here in the Valvoline Detroit Grand Prix. David Hobbs, Johnny Rutherford, I'm Ken Squire, Mike Joy and Chris Economaki, Leslie Visser along to bring you this great racing classic in its 8th year and 1st year with the Indianapolis cars on this track. And my, what a performance we've had thus far. Teo Fabi has moved back up to 8 from 16 after some pit stops. Al Unser has just retired. Al Unser Jr. Here's that battle for 3rd. There you see Scott Pruitt under pressure from Emerson Fittipaldi in the white and red number 20.
Not a good man to be under pressure from. The Indy 500 winner this year and a 2-time previous world champion in Formula 1. He was a world champion when he was 24. And he's about to give old Scott the blast off, I suspect.
Here is Chris with Carl Haas.
Carl, you're a car owner of the 1st and 2nd place cars, a father racing his son on Father's Day. Is that a delight or a dilemma, and what are the orders?
It's a delight at the moment. We're hoping we do well here. It's Kmart's hometown, and we'd love to win it for Kmart.
What kind of orders you got? You going to let Mario race Michael?
We sure are, but right now Michael's in the lead. Mario's 5 seconds behind him. We're keeping our eyes also on Emerson Fittipaldi, who's right behind both of us. So it's still a very good race.
He's not telling us what the orders are. Back to you, Ken.
It's a great race, and here's Emerson moving to the inside. Emerson Fittipaldi, only the 4th driver to win both the Indianapolis 500 and the World Championships. Clark and Hill, Andretti have done it, and this man has done it in car number 20. The great Brazilian driver Fittipaldi picking up another spot. He goes to 3rd.
It'll be interesting now to watch and see just how fast Emo closes in on Mario, because Mario doesn't seem to be moving in on Michael that quickly. He's just holding his own, but Emo is moving up very fast.
And I can tell you what, that when he does catch up with Mario Andretti won't let him by like old
Pruitt?
Pruitt did. I thought Pruitt
that easy.
I thought Pruitt actually was very, smart there, really. I mean, Emo had got him nailed, and he knew it, and he let him through.
Well, let's face it, when a guy, you can check your mirrors one straight away, and on the next one look, and there's somebody suddenly there that you just fall out of an airplane and land there. They're obviously going faster, so you give them a break.
Two world champions are battling for second place here in the Valvoline Detroit Grand Prix. Mario Andretti, the white, red numeral number 5, Emerson Fittipaldi, twice world champion. Here they are in a slugfest for second place through the streets of Detroit. 17-turn, 2.5-mile course, and this is the scramble. Two of the finest drivers in this great century of motorsports coming to a conclusion here in a year or two. These are two names that will be remembered. Fittipaldi and Andretti putting on a marvelous show. So smooth, so right, timing so perfect. Meanwhile, Mario's son Michael continues to dominate this event with a several-second advantage over the squabble for second place.
Mario has really...
There's the leader. Now let's get that interval, David. There's the interval to second.
It's quite a considerable.
To Chris Economac.
Here's a disappointed Al Unser. Al is soaking wet. It's not been an easy day, I know. The track must be beating these cars to death, huh?
Well, the track is very rough on them, sure, but most of the leaders are still out there running, and seem like they're running real good. So
several cars have gone out. What exactly happened with yours?
My car was left rear half shaft broke on it, so the shaft itself, it wasn't a CV or anything, it was the shaft itself.
The metal broke.
Yeah.
You had planned to take it easy and race a little bit later on. Were you living by that plan?
Yeah. Yeah, we were saving fuel. We were short shifting. You could see Michael pulling me on the straightaways, but he was also working very well in the corners. So it was going to be a tough race for me to pass him, but
Well, his father's chasing him down now, and it's going to be interesting to see how that happens. Better luck next time, Alan. Thanks.
Thank you.
First race that Unser Jr. has not finished since September 1988, Nazareth, PA. Look at this scramble. Mario not giving much. Here's Mario getting through that corner onto St. Antoine just on time. Keep Emerson back in third spot.
Emerson Fittipaldi very, very wisely did not pursue that because he just knew that if anybody out there was going to give him the chop, it would have been Mario. Mario made the straight incredibly narrow on that last approach to turn 1 where our man Johnny was standing at the beginning of the show and said this is going to be where people are going to pass. If the other driver lets him, well, Mario didn't let him.
No, he didn't.
There's the leader.
And
here's that interval to second place.
Increasing quite a bit. Now, Mario is undoubtedly holding Emerson up now, and Emerson will be getting, I don't know about desperate, but he'll be wanting to get after Michael.
It appears that Mario is able to pull away on the straightaways of any length, and Emo is able to close up on the tight stuff and move down in on him and work him over in the short straightaway. So it's going to be close.
But I think Mario has definitely lost a bit of way because Michael's got a huge lead on him now.
9 seconds.
Entire length of this front straightaway here.
So here's the battle for second that continues as car number 5 stays up there and ready. The Lola Chevy V8 battling the Penske Chevy.
At 80 kilometers per hour on a straight, dry, uneven road, just one faulty shock absorber will increase your stopping distance by 2.6 meters. 2.6 meters can make quite a difference. Monroe shock absorbers, they'll keep your car where it should be, on the road.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition.
Here we go, a high-speed test run. Will the engine stand up to this flat-out racing? The revs increase, the temperature rises, but the engine still runs like clockwork, thanks to new Valvoline Syngard motor oil. The synthetic components in Syngard prevent black sludge and give the very best protection. Valvoline Syngard prolongs the life of your engine.
as we come back, a tremendous pass put on by Emerson Fittipaldi, getting around Mario Andretti in the long main straightaway under heavy braking. Fittipaldi has moved into second place. They've been having trouble getting the power to the ground on those Penske PC-18s here, but Emerson's car is just running like a train. Let's take a look at that pass once again for second place. Down to the start-finish line.
There you can see he's feinting to the outside and then diving to the inside. Mario had to hold a line.
Whoa,
look at him. He locked the brakes up right there and made tire marks on the pavement. Tremendous move on Fittipaldi's part.
Boy, he had it there. I mean, he locked his rear brakes there and left some pretty serious rubber on the track. He was pretty
That's
lucky to get away
interesting to
with
see that they've got rear brake bias.
Yeah, very interesting.
I put that down as the move of the day.
Oh, yes, definitely.
So do I.
Now, while we were away, the following has happened. Kevin Cogan spun his car, but there was no full course caution. Cogan spinning, the young man, 33-year-old driver from Palos Verdes, California. Here he is in the pits that had that terrible crash in the initial laps at Indy this year. Scott Pruitt has pitted car number 3 and come back on the track. He has fallen to 6, but that may be to his advantage to have made that pit stop.
If he could go to the end, it is for sure. Now we have Jourdain parked against the wall. He's done a spin, and you can see his tire marks there. He's up against the wall, and I would think it probably out of the race, wouldn't you?
Done that left front wheel no good at all, but I think.
Right.
Probably hit the wall on the other side first and bounced it off into that spin.
7th place car, Jourdain, number 69. Here's out of it.
Another one out.
Belgian born, moved to Mexico, and he's just a little fellow. Good campaigner.
There we see Emerson about to put a lap on one of the cars.
Dominic Dobson, it appears he's going by there, passing on the inside.
That's the Bayside car. Walter Gerber's the crew chief on that, of course, very well known in the IMSA pits, having run the Bayside Porsche for the garbage man for many years.
Bruce Levin,
right.
Here's Fittipaldi trying to get any kind of an advantage to pull up on that leader. And it's a struggle between the Andrettis and the Fittipaldis once again. It's happening here in Indianapolis car racing. Streets of Detroit. First time the Indy cars have been here, giving a very good accounting of themselves in a track which is really a chassis track. You talk about engine tracks and chassis tracks. Wouldn't you say, gentlemen, this is a chassis track?
It really is. It's one, obviously, like I've said, Michael Andretti is so smooth. His car is working perfectly. It's the way you would, everybody would want them.
Fittipaldi's crew waiting. Pat Patrick's team standing by, ready for Emerson to come in for that final pit stop. They may be getting ready to come in now. He's about to lap Roberto Guerrero if he stays out. Guerrero now lies 8th on the field.
Emerson into the pits.
Here's Mike Joy in the Emerson Fittipaldi pits.
And here he comes, Ken. Chris Griffiths and Pat Chavez set for the front tires. Dog Hamburg and Rick Lambert the rears. Larry Faust has the gas nozzle and the jack. The vet man is Dave Stevens. We'll see how quickly they can get this done. Seconds to the pits. Much easier a game than track position. We won't know how this all turns out till Michael Andretti makes his stop. They're waiting for fuel. Final stop of the day for Fittipaldi in just about 15 seconds. He's away.
Great stop for Emerson Fittipaldi. Waiting on Michael Andretti to come in and make his pit stop. In fact, both of the Newman Haas cars have yet to come on for their final pit appearance. Teo Fabi now lying 4th in car number 8, and Scott Pruitt in 5th. Mears is 6th. Didier Tays is in 7th spot. And the front 7 cars are all in the lead lap with 44 laps complete. Far different than we've seen here, David, in Formula One.
Well, of course, the caution flags and the pit stops obviously do help to keep the field compressed together and doesn't allow, for instance, Michael Andretti, who has been the class of field all afternoon, just doesn't allow him to run away and hide like you get in Formula One with Ayrton Senna, who keeps on disappearing into the distance and nothing to slow him up.
Full course yellow here would be a big advantage for Michael and Mario. Those Newman Haas cars seem to get great mileage.
Yes, they always have traditionally, and they're doing it right now. They're stretching. We've got in the pits,
Michael Andretti. Here's Chris Economaki.
And as you start our watch, let's see if these boys can beat the Fittipaldi man. They're all over this race car. No tires this time, just fuel. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and there it goes, 11.50 seconds for Michael Andretti. No tires and back on the track. His father will be coming in shortly to try and improve his position. They're all applauding here in the Andretti pit.
brilliant pit stop, seeking his 8th Indianapolis car victory, Michael Andretti of Nazareth, Pennsylvania. And here is his dad trying to search him out and trounce him on Father's Day. Mario leads by 1 8/10 of a second. Again, Michael Andretti has made his final pit stop, now lies second. Emerson is in third, and let's go back to Chris Economaki.
Well, it's interesting. Here's Mario Andretti coming in the pits right now. He stayed out until his fuel light went on. Michael came in and went out and left 2 gallons of gas in the hose. We're clocking this stop here, 7 seconds, 8 seconds, and this is going to be a crucial stop, whether or not he can get by. There he goes, 11.2 seconds, and Mario Andretti is back on the track. Last stop of the day. Back to you, Ken.
Great battle in the pits. Carl Haas really has that team organized. As you can see, here's Mario back out another time.
And right behind him now is Emerson Fittipaldi.
Who has yet to pit?
No, Emerson pitted.
Has pitted.
But he's a long way behind Michael.
Battle for second, folks. In the 47th lap, a major incident in front of Cobo Hall involving this man, number 20, Emerson Fittipaldi, and Mario Andretti. Watch it here. Battle for second place. Emerson down the inside. They are snarled. They came to a complete halt and could not get away. The first car to fire and come around was Andretti. Fittipaldi was pushed for a considerable distance, and his car finally fired and is back on the track. Now, in our latest report, they are still showing Mario Andretti for second, Pruitt in third, Emerson has fallen to fourth, and Teo Fabi is in fifth. And it is a major break for Michael Andretti, who now gets a lead of about 51 seconds.
Oh, that's a tremendous lead and will be insurmountable, I'm sure, during the duration to the finish, because, like I say, Michael is just so smooth. His car is really operating well.
He's obviously done a tremendous amount of work on the spring damper settings on that car, and has really made it work on this bumpy track, which of course is the key to success. And of course, if you make the car bounce around less, it's a lot less tough on transmissions and things.
13 laps to go. Here's Mike Joy.
Chip Ganassi, you went away from that incident up by Cobo. What's he saying? Anything about the condition of the car?
No, the car's okay, Mike. We're just hoping with these pit stops. Mario didn't take tires. Michael didn't take tires. At Long Beach, you saw little Al. He ran down Mario when they tried that. We're on fresh tires. Hopefully we can run him down.
Well, that's if the car's okay. Michael Andretti built up a big lead, A, because he had a 4-second faster pit stop, but B, his pit is way up at the head end of pit road. He can slow down quickly and stop and get a full acceleration down this pit lane. Fittipaldi could not.
That's Mario Andretti in trouble another time. That is the second time for ill fortune in the past 2 laps for Mario Andretti, being rolled away here in the Newman Haas car, the Lola Chevrolet, at the pump house turn. Scott Pruitt now goes to second.
Fittipaldi just drove by, so that
Fittipaldi will go to third. And here you see that car in fourth. Teo Fabi has brought the March Porsche back up into fourth position, and not too far behind him comes Rick Mears. Mario Andretti falling back a bit. Fabi is going for his second straight top 5 finish. Remember, he had a third place at Milwaukee last time out, and hasn't done that since 1983, having a very good run. Perhaps we can learn more about the Andretti situation from Chris Economaki.
Yes, Carl Haas, the car owner, is working in Michael Andretti's pit. I'm with Don Henderson, Mario's manager. What's the story right now? What happened out there, and where is he at the moment?
Jim just quit on him. They pushed him, got a restart. We're about 10 seconds behind Fabi, and we're gaining about 2 seconds a lap, Chris.
How fast is Michael running compared to Mario's time?
I haven't seen that, but we'll check on it for you.
Okay, thanks a lot. Don Henderson, Mario Andretti, very much back in it and going pretty quick.
With 8 laps to go, Michael Andretti is in trouble. Here he is by the pump house turn, running very slowly. What do you think, guys? Half shaft? What's happened here?
very hard to say at this point.
Stuck in a gear, broken the half shaft. If he'd broken the half shaft, you'd expect the thing to stop, but he's obviously pulling it into the pits.
He has a full advantage. Let's go to Chris Economaki as Scott Pruitt takes the lead.
Well, the story here is that it's gear linkage problems, yet they're taking the nose piece off. The mechanics have screwdrivers in their hands. There's 2 gallons of fuel left in the hose. They're putting that back in the car. Now the car's being buttoned up again. Perhaps it's fixed. The engine was cut off when he made the stop, which is sort of surprising. And it's a transmission problem. They're trying to rock it and get it started. He's still drinking. There, he's throwing it out, and he's back and running. Let's try and find out from one of the mechanics just what the trouble was.
26 seconds. 26 seconds. And he is away. 26 seconds. Here's your new leader, number 3, Scott Pruitt. In his first full season with True Sports, the late Jim Truman's team, what a job he has done for Steve Horn and company. He now has a lead of 7 seconds, and guess who's in second?
Yep, old Emerson, his very self, will now be driving like a man possessed, but he better get on with it because he's only got 7 laps left.
It's now Pruitt first, Emerson Fittipaldi in the second position. Michael and Jourdain's car, the number 69, in trouble, and it's going to be the end of the day for him. That's the second
time he's been into the wall.
We thought he was out a while ago when he stopped against the wall, but
the leader is Scott Pruitt. We have trouble on Michael Andretti's car. It's stuffed into the wall, and that's the end of the day for the young man who dominated the event, set on the pole, led all the way, and he's clambering out.
Yes, he threw the steering wheel, very disgusted, obviously. The car went straight into the concrete there, mashed the right front. He's history.
Because if he's going...
He was probably just trying to catch up, or maybe missed a gear. Had a problem with that.
Disappointed crew for Newman Haas. The story is up in front. So it's the American colors and the Brazilian colors running first and second. You get a taste of the international flavor that certainly has not gone away from this Detroit Grand Prix. And here's the encounter for first. Main straightaway. Fittipaldi is fighting his way back into the lead. Pruitt trying to stay with him on the outside. Runs him all the way around the corner. The old-fashioned rim ride, David.
He didn't give up there, young Scott Pruitt. He really hung right in there. But, of course, that was probably a case of that Chevrolet power just finally nailing the car of Scott Pruitt. Now, Scott, of course, on fuel, you know, he stopped 6 laps earlier than anybody else, so he could well be right down to the last few drops anyway.
And Mario Andretti lies third. Fabi is in fourth. Mears is in fifth. Those 5 cars are reported in the lead lap, with Lyondike now back up to 6. 1 lap down. Dominic Dobson 7th. Guerrero is 8th. Didier Tays is 9th. Mike Andretti had been reported in 10th. Here's Mike.
On the other side of that question, fuel is not a problem for Fittipaldi. Remember, they took 15 seconds and stopped with 18 laps to go. They got a full load of fuel, and now with the lead, they think they can make it.
Less than 3 laps remain, Mike. So that fuel story is the Pruitt story at the present time. Fittipaldi seems secure as far as fuel is concerned, but half shafts have broken. Problems have arisen with leader after leader, one in particular.
Well, just a few minutes ago, of course, we were counting up the points and the money for young Michael, so I don't think we better start counting up the points for Emerson, but if he should win this race, that will put him clearly at the top of the points leader.
What about cockpit management? You get down to the end of these races. Are you as alert? Are you as ready to do what you need to do here and make the changes when you need to make them?
Well, of course, in this case, we saw that the picture suddenly changed. There it is.
Checkers coming out, and the winner will be Emerson Fittipaldi. Emerson comes home first. Trying to hold on for second. And the car is surging here some is Scott Pruitt. What a wonderful response to a great performer, and truly one of the great champions of the 20th century, the first century of motorsports. Emerson Fittipaldi of Brazil has won the 8th annual Valvoline Detroit Grand Prix. Here's Scott Pruitt, literally puttering to the finish line. Remarkable finish for Scott Pruitt. He makes it across the line. Mario Andretti will get third, and Teo Fabi will give Porsche fourth. That's a third and a fourth back-to-back.
Congratulations, Emo. You made 4 stops today, 2 out on the track and 2 in the pits. What was going through your mind at those times?
Oh, it was an incredible race from the beginning. On the start, I touched wheels with Mario. I punched a front tire, and you know, my Marlboro car was beautiful the whole day, and it was fantastic car.
Emo, I've never seen a fighter like Emerson Fittipaldi. How tough a race was it for you?
Oh, it was very tough physically, you know, it was very demanding. I was trying to keep the tires on a good grip, on a good condition, and you know, it was a great race. My crew made a fantastic work. I'm very pleased.
Well, a look at the final standings in the 8th annual Valvoline Detroit Grand Prix. A great day for Emerson Fittipaldi and for all these finishers. 13 came to the line at the end, 15 retired from the event. 4 lead changes among 4 drivers in this great race, and now the kart teams move on to Portland, Oregon, just next Sunday for another grand encounter. It'll have to go some to beat what we've seen here in Detroit. And so, for Chris Economaki, David Hobbs, Johnny Rutherford, Mike Joy, and Leslie Visser, this is Ken Squire saying so long from the Valvoline Detroit Grand Prix.
Monroe for shock absorbers.